Coverage continues live this afternoon. I'm Siobhan Riley. The time right now is 12:02. Major software outages affecting computers across the world, causing significant headaches at airports. American, Delta, and United and several other airlines had issues earlier this morning. We just got finished listening live to an update from Buncombe County officials about the path to recovery after Helene. As of this morning, we have learned more than 11,000 people are still without power. We're also learning information about the donation center. They're telling us at this time the donation center is full. And we are live here at 12:30 on Spectrum News 1. The Charlotte-Mecklenburg Chief of Police, Johnny Jennings, who you just heard from, he also shared this morning the name of one of 4 officers killed, Deputy U.S. Marshal Thomas Weeks. We are working to get a picture of the officer, but know that he leaves behind a wife and 4 children. Back to Spectrum News 1, and happy Saturday to you. This is a look from downtown Raleigh today. You can see it's a beautiful day to get outdoors. Meteorologist Vernon Turner, he joins us today. Vernon, I don't have any plans this weekend, but from looking at that just makes me want to make some plans so I can get out and enjoy this beautiful fall-like day.
Yeah, definitely some nice weather.
Yeah, and for the folks here, they say they are very optimistic. I just got finished speaking with Don Davis's mother about 10 minutes ago, and she tells me she feels very hopeful that he is going to win for re-election. You can take a look at this crowd. Don Davis is expected to make an appearance very soon, but you can see that a lot of people are here. They're very hopeful that Don Davis is going to bring home the win. And we are turning now across the state, where this damage that you see behind me was caused by an EF3 tornado in Rocky Mount yesterday. That happened around 1:30 in the afternoon, and it slammed into a shopping center, as you can see right here. And that is where we find Amy Elliott this morning. She is live. Amy, what are you seeing on the ground, and what are folks telling you after the storm?
Well, Siobhan, good morning to you, community of Rocky Mount.
Yeah, Amy, from the looks of things, looks like that cleanup is going to take quite some time. Thank you so much for that, Amy. And there are 2 other confirmed tornadoes from Helene. They are both EF1 strength. One of those was in Bladen County and one in Sampson County. We are live here on Spectrum News 1 at 4:30. Breaking news from UNC Chapel Hill's campus. Classes are canceled for the rest of the day as protests resume on campus. This is an escalation from earlier today. The situation began this morning. Police began clearing protesters around 6 a.m. today. The protesters had tents set up on campus demanding UNC address their stance on the Israel-Hamas war. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us live here this weekend. The time right now is 8:02. It is Sunday, November 17th. Let's go ahead and get straight into our top stories today. It's been nearly 2 months since Helene brought historic rain and flooding to western North Carolina, damaging sections of Interstate 40. It left some people partially cut off from the rest of the state. The North Carolina Department of Transportation expects drivers will be able to take I-40 to Tennessee again by New Year's Day. Right now, crews are working to repair a 5-mile section along the North Carolina-Tennessee border. Once open, drivers will be able to access 2 lanes in the most damaged areas. Crews will continue work to restabilize the road. And DOT officials say they regularly deal with damage on the stretch of the interstate, but the damage caused by Helene is some of the worst they've ever seen.
We're very accustomed to responding to cut slope failures on the interstate here, so rock slides and stuff like that.
They have been through so much. NCDOT says even after the road is reopened with the 2-lane road, it will still be an active construction zone as they work on a permanent fix. Right now, NCDOT doesn't know when the road will be fully repaired. And the state fair collected more than 280,000 meals of food for western North Carolina this year. That equals 18 truckloads of food and supplies. Volunteers with the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina packed up on those donations this week. We spoke with a volunteer who says he's been helping out with disaster relief since the fair.
I actually volunteered 2 years at the fair, this year and the year before.
If you're an organization that still needs the help, you can contact the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina to schedule a delivery. The food bank says this will take place for the next few weeks. Online sales of contraceptives spiked after Donald Trump won the election. We've also learned the outcome is causing some North Carolina women to consider taking more drastic measures to manage their reproductive health. In his previous administration, Trump appointed Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe versus Wade, giving authority on the issue of abortion back to the states. And since then, more than a dozen states have nearly seized all abortion services. Those are in red right here on your screen. The orange states, including North Carolina, added significant restrictions. Spectrum News 1's Rachel Boyd shows us why some worry about what's next while others applaud the moves. And when it comes to access to emergency contraceptives like Plan B, Trump explained where he stands with that. In May, he posted this update on Truth Social, saying in part, "I do not support a ban on birth control, and neither will the Republican Party." Time right now is 8:08. Doctors are calling preterm births a serious health crisis. Coming up next on Spectrum News 1, I'm speaking with a doctor who explains how you can reduce the risk of a preterm birth. And this is a live look at downtown Wilmington waterfront. A beautiful day outside, courtesy of surfchecks.com. It's bright and sunny, but still a cool morning there in the port city. We've seen temperatures across the state take a dip over the past couple days, but will that cooling last into the week ahead? Your 3-day forecast. It's all coming up next on Spectrum News 1. Be sure to stay with us. Hi there, I'm Siobhan Riley. Here's your Spectrum News in 90. The North Carolina Superior Court is dismissing a lawsuit against the St. Augustine's Board of Trustees. The suit accused the board of making decisions that put the university in a position to lose its accreditation. A group of alumni called Save SAU filed the lawsuit, claiming board chairman Brian Boulware benefited from the brokerage fee the school paid on a $7 million loan. In a statement, the Board of Trustees said it is grateful the suit was dismissed and prioritized the best interest of the institution. Heads up if you plan on driving near the Raleigh airport this weekend. NCDOT says some access points on the I-40 interchange at Airport Boulevard will be closed through Monday morning. Northbound traffic must take I-40 East to Aviation Parkway, then I-40 West to Airport Boulevard. Southbound traffic must take I-40 West to I-540, then loop around the I-40 East. Applications for the Durham County Food Security Grants, they are now open. It is all part of the county's social safety net as the cost of living continues to increase. The application window that closes Friday at 3 p.m. We'll be sure to keep you updated. And that's your Spectrum News in 90. Good morning, and thank you so much for starting a part of your weekend with us here on Spectrum News 1. It is Saturday, November 16th. Let's go ahead and jump straight into our top stories today. New today, the race for a state Supreme Court is separated by just over 100 votes. Incumbent Democrat Allison Riggs is ahead of Republican challenger Jefferson Griffin by just 106 votes, according to the State Board of Elections. That says counties across North Carolina certified their local election results yesterday. More than 5.5 million voters from across the state cast their ballots in this race. Obviously, this result, it falls well within the 10,000 vote margin to be eligible for a recount. As the trailing candidate, Jefferson Griffin has until Tuesday to make that request. Here are some other dates to keep in mind as we move forward. The State Board of Elections will meet to certify statewide results on November 26th. This includes races for president and for governor. Speaking of governor, Josh Stein will be sworn in on New Year's Day. Congress will meet to certify the presidential election on January 6th, and Donald Trump will be inaugurated as president on the 20th. President-elect Donald Trump is wasting no time building his second administration. Ahead of that inauguration date, the transition team announced his incoming press secretary to cap off a week full of announcements. Caroline Leavitt will serve as White House press secretary at just 27 years old. Leavitt would be the youngest ever to hold the position. Leavitt served as Trump's press secretary for his re-election campaign. She's currently a spokesperson for Trump's transition. Also announced this week, former Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz is Donald Trump's pick for Attorney General, but he is also the subject of a long-running investigation by the House Ethics Committee. Now, House Speaker Mike Johnson is asking the committee not to share its report on Gates. The committee has been investigating the former GOP representative over allegations of sexual misconduct, illicit drug use, and other improper behavior. The investigation started back in 2021. Gates has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. Democrats are demanding the report be released, and even some Senate Republicans agree.
I think the Senate certainly had a right to request it. Yeah, I can't talk about our internal deliberations.
Speaker Johnson says a former congressman has traditionally been beyond the Ethics Committee's jurisdiction. As President-elect Donald Trump works to organize his administration, he has already laid out a list of goals for when he gets back into the Oval Office. At a campaign rally in Raleigh, Trump outlined how he would raise tariffs. Experts and researchers say the plan would leave consumers to foot the bill. Special News One reporter Courtney Davis spoke with a North Carolina business owner to learn how tariffs could affect everyone. And here's how tariffs work. Taxes are increased on goods U.S. companies buy from other countries. For example, China does not pay a tariff imposed on Chinese goods, but the company that buys the item does.
I need purpose. I think we all need purpose, and it gives me purpose.
A new program looks to help veterans and others struggling overcome their trauma. Coming up next on Special News One, we're going to explain how you can help the program get up and running. And this is a look over Asheville from earlier this morning, courtesy of Buncombe County. Such a beautiful look out there. It has almost been 2 months since Helene smashed into the mountains. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the ongoing recovery efforts as well as your 3-day forecast. It's all coming up next on Special News One. Be sure to stay with us.